So, boys, for tonight's bottle, we're coming in strong. Medieval, even.
It's a cowboy.
Castle Key. Small batch. Cask strength. Weeded.
Yeehaw.
I can't even come up.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Hello, and welcome everyone to episode 225 of the Mashup, the best bourbon conversation you are going to hear all week long. We're your hosts, Kenny, Steven, and Kenny.
Oh, you left me out again, you jerk.
Well, Kenny has a lot to say.
He does. He's a man of many things.
And there he goes. Kenny, shut him up.
He's already going with the, is that miming? Is he miming over there?
I'm afraid to ask what he's doing. I think he's freestyling.
There you go. Did you guys know?
What's up, y'all?
There you go. Kenny's a beatboxer. You guys didn't know that. He actually, your two hidden talents, sir, are breakdancing and beatboxing. He really took the 80s seriously.
Man.
Yeah. I'm not sure. We've had some pours, but I think that it's actually appropriate for me to introduce another pour to you guys right now. So if you have a glass, I'd like to pour this
Oh, boy.
Buffalo Trace pick for you that I recently acquired from a good buddy and listener, and also tell you a quick story about this, but it's coming around the table. Here you go.
I will tell you, this is what my boy Harry Micah refers to as the Pirate Hour.
The Pirate Hour?
This is the Pirate Hour. Get ready.
What's that mean?
Just get ready.
Okay, here we go.
A lot of R's, I think.
Pirate Hour. If I poured anybody heavy, it's okay. You know why? Because I want to tell you guys a quick story about this bottle. So,
Let me tell you something.
you guys might remember this, but Kenny was scheduled to go on a Buffalo Trace barrel pick, invited by the esteemed group called the Illuminati. See this? Illuminati.
I see that.
Right. But he couldn't go, and he was nice enough to refer me to Mr. Joseph Granville, who was nice enough to say, sure. And you know what Joseph told me after this pick, Kenny?
What's that?
He said, I think that you are now the person we're going to invite on the picks, and Kenny is going to be the alternate.
Whoa.
He is confused.
So what I did not tell you guys I brought this bottle over, and I wanted to kick off this episode by having you taste this, because to me, I'm going to tell you guys right now why this bottle is so low after we taste it.
Did you spill it?
I did not spill it. But what are you nosing on this? Please.
Get a little caramel.
Caramel?
Get a little vanilla.
Oh, here he goes. Here he goes.
He's stretching.
He's going down that route.
Smell Elmer T. Lee's brow sweat.
His used socks.
I smell Freddie's enthusiasm.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why I wanted us to lead the episode off is I want your guys' honest opinion. But these guys, they had a group of 9 people there, right? 9 or 10 people. I was only one person there, but I didn't even really think what we picked that day was that remarkable. And then it was one of those bottles when it came in and I opened it and I started nosing it and tasting it. I couldn't put it down. I literally could not put it down.
Well, then why didn't you blind us with it instead?
I didn't want to blind you with it. I wanted you to know exactly what you're having, and I wanted you to tell me I'm wrong. That's what I wanted you to tell me.
I'm going to tell you. Give me 10 seconds. I'm going to tell you you're wrong.
I'm getting like cinnamon, red vines, cherry Twizzlers. That's what I'm getting on the nose. So I know it's 90 proof.
I get the cherry on the finish.
Right.
Is that a 750 or 1 liter?
It's a 750.
What is it, $30?
Yeah.
$40?
I think it was $35, yep. And that's about a 7.5-year-old bourbon, I think.
Slap a blue sticker on that and call it Club Blue.
You liar. You better not.
I'm getting like a hair of like...
No, I'm saying I would rather... Like, that would be something that they could actually raise money on.
Oh, I got you. I thought you were comparing it to that.
500 times better. I'm just saying.
1,000 times better, yes. My bad. I misinterpreted for a second. I was like, oh, God.
So I'm getting all the notes Kenny got, but are you getting like a hint of like barbecue?
Like, yeah, I think there's
like
a little bit
ultra
of
hint.
smoky oak flavor backbone. I'm going to tell you something. Okay, BT picks for me, they even have a honey register. I very rarely get the ones that have like the nice cherry note to them. And this to me was like, I can't even believe that this turned out as good as it did, because I don't remember it being that good the day we picked it. But I don't know. What do y'all think?
I think it's actually pretty good. You know who loves BT picks?
Who's that?
Harry Micah.
Are you serious?
Loves them.
So it's a pirate hour, and so that means I have to save Harry some of this to see what he thinks about it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Harry has a amazing palate, discernible palate,
Right.
and the BT stuff where it's a bit lower proof.
Uh-huh.
It allows him to just walk through every freaking nuance and
Okay.
every flavor note because it's not high proof.
Right.
And you're not getting like the punch and this
Right.
and that off of that. And you just, I think like a lot of the spirits competitions,
Uh-huh.
I think they even like lower those down to like 45 proof instead of 90 proof.
Oh, dang.
I think they
That
had that
much?
much
Really?
water.
How much lower?
That way they can like try to pick things apart.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, here's the thing: if you have something really high proof, that little punch can hide a lot of things too.
Right. Right.
So yeah, Harry loves BT picks, bro.
Okay, we're going to pour a 2-ounce sample of this for Harry before we get out of here, but I just wanted to say, like, Steve, what do you think? Do you like it or no?
I do like it.
Yeah, I mean, so this is full disclosure. I poured 4 ounces of this out as a sample, so 2-ounce samples to people, and the rest of this was housed by me, and I was not trying to house the bourbon like this. It just the
You must
boots.
have been babysitting your kids.
Yeah. The
you
boots-
definitely did
Yeah,
put a little punishment.
there
in
you go. The mood struck me right, and this tasted really good, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's 90 proof, but still, I put a hurt on the bottle, and I wanted to bring it over here, and I have a couple of backups, and I'm happy that I do, but
How many backups you got?
I have 2. And I was very happy to be invited to pick with Illuminati. They're a charitable / private group in northern Kentucky / southern Ohio area. I met a lot of good guys that day. I think I mentioned that pick. And I told Joseph that I would mention it on the podcast, but I didn't know I was going to present it like this to you guys. So it actually turned out much better than I would say for me in my life. 75% of the BT picks I've tried, I like this one a lot better. And I like it better than ones that have like that sweet honey note to them.
Yeah. I'd like to do some of this to Harry though, for real. If you don't,
Yeah, please, yeah. And if Harry trashes it, he can come on the pod and tell me he doesn't like it or call me or whatever. But I really was impressed with this. So kudos to those guys, everything they're doing, and I would be very pleased if they invited me again and I was the first pick and Kenny was the alternate. He's squirming over there. He's like, my 30 pick is
Twitching.
Jeopardy.
Nah, I mean, they can either just go. I mean, they know the deal, man. There's the palate, and I mean, it's all good. No, I'm just teasing.
I was just having some fun with you, man. Like I think that they'd
I'm
be
teasing, dude.
happy to have any,
Dude, I've told you, man.
any of us involved.
You have
man.
been so spot on, man. The last year on blinds, dude. You've really increased your game, bro.
Well, thank you. I've had some good training, but this for me for BT pick, I was like, man, I can't believe it. So
Yeah. So we, so I'd never been on a BT pick ever,
okay,
like ever, never.
right,
And then I got to go on one with a group through our Karma people.
okay,
And then I got to go on one with crap. I'm trying to think. I think it was with was it OBC or
did you do the James Sprunt Community College pick?
it was somebody. I went on a second one, and then I got invited to that one. So I had like I never been on a Buffalo Trace pick ever, and all of a sudden I had like 3 Buffalo Trace picks within like 2 weeks of each other.
Back to back.
And this one I can't remember if I was out of town or I got sick, one of the two. But that's why you went.
I think you went out of town somewhere,
Yeah.
and you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I'm honest to God, dude, like I was the first time I ever picked there, so I was very happy to be there. And
But the
like
one
said,
pick I was
soaked in from
on-
the guys there, and they're great people.
The one pick I was on was not good. Truly was not good.
Okay,
And the other one I went on like a week later.
Yep.
Dude, every barrel we tried was way better than the previous week. So
Right.
it's just kind of weird, man. It's just, I mean, they're all single barrels.
right.
But this one is actually very good.
Well,
Good
the one,
job, man.
The one cool thing I want to say about this is at the end of this pick, we got trapped by a huge, massive thunderstorm. So we were stuck in the BT tasting room, the really nice one next to the warehouse. You ever been in
Yeah.
that one?
Yep, that's where I was at.
So we're stuck in there, and our tour guide, or our tasting guru, whatever you want to say, he was like, you guys want to start tasting some of these at Cask Strength. So the rain delay was a lot of fun. So we got to taste a lot of the things that we were tasting that day at Cask Strength, which was amazing because you can imagine like tasting 7 to 9 year old bourbon at like from BT at like 100.
So did you get to taste this bottle of Cask Strength?
We did, and it was very good. Like, it affirmed, I think, a lot of people were kind of skeptical after we picked it. And I remember the other cool thing is I'm going to botch this, but there was a guy who had an anniversary date of a loved one who had passed, and this barrel was actually, I think, I think it was laid down, or I can't remember. The date of the barrel matched the anniversary of the passing of the loved one, which was like the icing on the cake. It was like one of those moments where he picked it, and then he said it afterwards, and it was like, okay, that just affirms. So there's a lot of weird kind of things that day that like signified this was going to be good, and I think it turned out excellent. So anyway, I get to pick with Jackson's there soon. I get to go on a barrel pick for a BT pick at Jackson's, so maybe we'll recapture some of that magic. Really? Steven?
Well, with that, do we have another review for this week?
We actually do. So this review came to us 16 days ago on Spotify, and it was in reference to the episode that we did on, I think, E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof Rye, maybe? I think we did that episode on Barrel Proof Rye. Was that correct? And Desert Trash is known to us. It's actually Roger Schaefer, who is a ambassador for Pursuit United, but he's also a big supporter of our podcast, has been for a long time. And he wrote, "Love this episode. Always cool to get a shout out from you guys," because I mentioned him on the episode. He said, "The trip with the Bourbon Hunters was a great time. So glad you made it, Anthony, to pick at Pursuit as well as the bottle share. I think we should call the pick the podcast pick. I mean, we had Kenny and Ryan from Bourbon Pursuit, Jason C. from Mash and Drum, Anthony from the Mashup KY, Dude, JD, Tyler, Brett, and the Flying Buckeye from the Bourbon Hunters, and Martel and Mike from the Buckhorn Podcast." And that's the truth. The day we picked it at Pursuit had a whole bunch of people, and so Roger was recognizing that, and unfortunately, or fortunately, Bourbon Hunters got that pick, and they have already sold out of it. So we'll probably review one of the bottles on the podcast eventually when I get my hands on it from the thing that we picked that day at Pursuit. But Roger, we appreciate the support and the continued messages and everything else, and we're just happy. I would have liked to call it the podcast pick and had it shared, but I think there's only so many bottles to go around. So, but thanks for the love, and we appreciate that on Spotify.
And if you'd like a shout out, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and next time we record, we'll give you a shout out.
Hooray!
Hooray.
Now, speaking of Buffalo Trace that you just poured out.
Uh-oh, okay. Oh, gosh. Kenny's going to go sidetrack here.
I heard from a Buffalo Trace employee
That this is actually 1792?
No, this tastes good, actually.
Yeah.
That we had talked recently on our Best of 2024 Blinds episode, as well as the last Tuesday or Tuesday episode. We talked about the Elkwood, the Buffalo Trace turkey stuff.
Yeah.
We weren't sure about the yeast.
Yeah.
I was told by a Buffalo Trace employee
Yes.
that there's no possible way
Okay.
they allowed an outside yeast into their vats.
There's no possible way
So-
we would let that yeast
No contamination.
in
So-
our vats.
Exactly.
There you go.
So just again to hit on this Buffalo Trace, Wild Turkey collaboration, all these 15, 16-year things, whose yeast was it? I even said I said I would go on record to say I would say it's Buffalo Trace's yeast. I would now even bet more money on that because he did confirm that there's no way they would let an outside yeast into their vats and all that.
Gotcha. So you're saying it's probably more BT than it is turkey?
It's basically, yeah, it is BT at Turkey's mash bill, and that is it. That's literally it. Just think about it, too.
Even more historic.
Would they allow Wild Turkey's, even their grains in there? Like you get, what's their regiment? What's, they look at like what they accept, what they deny, So it's definitely BT's yeast.
Would they even allow
So-
any of the Russell family to stand next to the mash tank?
So I'm just going on record to say that.
Sounds like a huge Monostat 7 problem.
Steven!
What?
You're the man. What?
So, boys.
There. I love that. I love it.
So, boys, for tonight's bottle, we're coming in strong. Medieval, even.
It's a cowboy.
Castle Key, small batch, cask strength, weeded.
Yeehaw.
I can't even come up.
Yippee-ki-yay.
I can't even do anything with that. So, Steven did the greatest intro to that bottle ever. This comes to us from the Castle Key Distillery. The bottle date is 2024. The ABV is 52.9. The proof is 105.8. I've got the mash bill going here at 73% white corn.
That's a good job, partner.
17% malted barley and 10% white winter wheat.
Thanks.
The MSRP is $60. That's a good MSRP for a 7-year-old weeded cask strength bourbon.
It's a round number.
I love it. We've lost Steven now. He's turned completely cowboy for this episode, and I love it. That's your true Lexingtonian coming out. Yeah,
So great.
Yeah. Did you go over and have a Lexingtonian salad from the
Malone's?
Malone's. That must
I heard
be
it's
it.
bottomless.
I heard it's bottomless, and you can get as much as you want. And if you ask for extra ranch dressing or whatever they put on there, it's not even proprietary. They give you more.
Proprietary?
Proprietary. But dang, so here we are, guys. Castle and Key. I don't think, Steven, we've never done this on the podcast, have we?
No, we have not.
Kenny, never.
Can you confirm?
I do not remember doing that
Yeah.
at all.
I remember way back when some random episode talking crap about the fact that when Castle and Key had first released their bourbon, their then famed master distiller, Marianne Eves, had departed, yet they still went ahead with their release of their bourbon, and a bunch of random dudes were around signing bottles that were the financial backers, and I said that wasn't right, that the master distiller should be there signing bottles. And I stand by that statement. But anyway, that's the only time I think we've mentioned Castle and Key is their releases on the podcast. But now we have this coveted, beautiful, look at that bottle.
It's unique. God. It's definitely a standout bottle, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that rivals for a new distillery. When I say new, they've been around, this is a 7-year age-stated weeded bourbon.
7 year.
So they've been around 7-8 years, and that bottle is absolutely gorgeous.
It's very
Yeah.
noir, like Art Deco kind of
Yep.
style with the way the edges are, and I like the metal around the neck,
Right.
especially the topper on it as well.
The
Look
topper,
at the cork, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could kill somebody
Look at
with
the
that.
very top
Yeah.
of the cork
Yeah.
or the sides, either one.
Yeah.
So they've always had just an amazing, beautiful bottle. Like the bottle's got to, like the glass itself has to cost a lot.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They've just had some incredible gin.
Mm-hmm.
Love their gin. I've heard their vodka's really good. I have just not liked their bourbon or their rye.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
No, I concur. When they first released their bourbon, the regular bourbon, I remember trying it and going, no. And
Yeah.
then they did some special release rye. I think some friends brought that over one time we were tasting somewhere. And it was okay, but it was like a 4-year rye, I feel like. And I was like, a 4-year rye should be better than this. And so I'm not going to lie to you. Right now, even though I'm looking at this beautiful bottle that has really nice colors and gold accents and that plate across the front of it, to me right now, you know what I'm thinking?
Skeptical.
Fugazi.
That's it. I was
Yeah.
thinking the same thing.
So Fugazi, yeah. You and I connected on that, my paisan over there. But I want to be proven wrong because it looks too good to be bad tasting. So, we don't know. It's beautiful.
So Brett Connors, who is their current, I don't know if it's master distiller, master taster, master blender.
MD,
Brett,
medical doctor.
but I know Brett. Met him 5, 6, 7 times.
Okay.
He's up there right now. But this was distilled by Marianne.
Okay.
So 7 years old. This is Marianne's distillation.
So when you say Marianne, you're talking about Marianne Eves.
Yes.
It's Marianne Eves. Yes, that's what her name.
And
Yeah.
she's been to the house before.
Right.
We hung out multiple times. Her Forbidden that she's released.
Right.
I was very fortunate enough, me and Shannon were fortunate enough to be invited over and taste through a bunch of those single barrels to determine what might get released as a single barrel, what goes in a blend, things of that nature.
That's big.
Yeah, she is very talented. And she put her own distillate is that white winter wheat,
Right.
and that's what's in here as well.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, this is I did text her like a month or two ago and ask about this, and this is her distillate. So we will see how this lands in our tasting tonight.
That's cool because I remember being at your house the time she was here, and like it was one of those deals where I wanted to go up and say like, "Hey, how are you?" And then I'm like, I'm going to sound like an idiot to talk to her.
Yeah.
But the thing I appreciate about
She's like a rock star, dude.
yeah, she's like a rock star.
Like a
but
celebrity.
The thing I appreciate about her is she has actually been active and liked some local things on Instagram, which is more than I can say about other big people that are involved in, whiskey and things like that. It's kind of like what's out of sight is out of mind. And she has actually been, kind of ingrained in the community and involved people. Like, I think for as big as her celebrity is and what she can do and what she will do, she could just be like, yeah, cool. Like, I don't want to talk to people, but she's always been a very down to earth persona. Not that I know her well. And I've always appreciated that about her. And that's opposite of what I feel like some people have tried to spin, like people try to spin things like, oh, this, that, the next thing. You always hear bad things. But I think from what I've observed and what I've seen, she's always been pretty down to earth and good.
Mm-hmm. Well, boys, with nose.
All right. So what I like instantly about this, it's got a nice. So I always talk about unfinished wheater bourbons that have like a honey, bready note, where they're kind of thick and not quite put together. This instead has like a little bit of ethanol twinge, but it also has like a little bit of the berry sweetness that I like from wheaters. So it's got a little bit of both, leading me to believe like the palate is going to be the determinant here because the nose is good, but it's not great.
It's real subtle, though.
Subtle.
Yeah. I didn't get much of. You said there was a little bit of ethanol. I'm not really getting much of any ethanol.
What's the proof on this again?
105-ish.
I think.
105. Well,
105.8.
I could still get a little bit more than I would like for a wheater, but it's definitely got a lot of good character on the nose that I like for well-aged wheaters. So
Now this is 7-year age stated,
Yes.
right.
so we should have included this in
Should
a blind
have.
last
Should have.
week.
Could have.
But we already had 6 though.
Yeah. 7 would have been a lot.
Yeah, it'd been a lot.
Well, there you go.
6 was a lot.
Indeed.
Well, it must be on the 7-year train this go around, which is fine. I'm fine with that. I think it's great. I think it's just outside of the range of what I like, though. I think I'm an 8 to 12 kind of guy.
Yeah, I'm kind of a 10 to 12, 11 to 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody got
Double
their
digits,
sweet spot
yeah.
of things they like. And yeah. So, real quickly, you guys haven't said anything about Castle and Key. And the cool thing about the distillery is if anybody has a chance to visit Lexington, it's right outside of the city limits. Probably it's in Versailles, right?
Yeah, Versailles,
It's
yeah.
in Versailles.
Right past Woodford.
Yeah, right past Woodford. It's a good compliment to any tour that you do or if you want to make it a destination. But this is actually the Old Taylor Distillery, and they actually got sued by Buffalo Trace very early on over the historical landmark. I think we commented on that on earlier podcasts, and I just said I thought it was really stupid for Buffalo Trace to just try to take a historical.
Buffalo Trace lost
They lost, yeah.
because it literally is the Old Taylor Distillery.
I'm glad that they lost, and I'm glad that Castle and Key prevailed there because it's so stupid to sue over a sign. Like, I get enforcing your trademark and everything. DOG is trying to take Steven out over there right now, which is great, in a good way. Just want some
love.
Just want some love, yeah. But that's the interesting thing is BT, this big Sazerac, the big bad Sazerac, goes after Castle and Key for a property that nobody wanted and neglected that they took over and made into this awesome experience with beautiful grounds and everything else.
It's one I want them to succeed.
Right.
I've never had anything good from there other than I just haven't. Other than their gin.
I love the way you say that.
But I haven't. I don't drink vodka, but I heard their vodka is good. Their gin is absolutely amazing. But I've not had anything else good from there.
Yeah.
But I want them to succeed because of the history, the story, the grounds.
Yeah.
It was all overgrown. They started uncovering stuff. We went on a tour there.
Okay.
And they have the original mash tanks and the original this and that from back in the day, man. It's legit old school stuff there. It's really, really, really
It's like a little museum they just discovered.
It is amazing. It's their own water source. They have like where it comes up from the ground, the springs and all that.
Oh, nice.
So like when you go there, you can see like they have a little canopy over it and a little building, like not a building, but like a little canopy over it. That's the actual natural spring water that comes up. And
Cool.
Dude, it's a great story. They need to not age there.
Take it.
They need to age off site.
They need to take all their stuff that
All
they
of it.
distill there and
All of it.
truck it over to Bardstown Bourbon Company or something, right?
Or it's going to be like, I mean, they need to if they age there, it needs to be 15-year-old before they release it or something crazy.
I got you.
It's just from the stone?
I want that. Yeah, I want them to succeed, man. But I don't know if it's a combination of just, the humidity with the stone, with the whatever. Things are not aged there like rapidly at all. You don't get like the traditional Kentucky seasons or something, how their stuff looks. Like I said, it's always so light in color compared to any other place.
That's true. Maybe they need E.H. Taylor's knickers to be hanging from the rafters in each
Is that all it takes?
rick house, and then it will absorb the greatness of E.H. Taylor.
Speaking,
We can't talk about E.H. Taylor
Right.
because Castle Key is Castle Key. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
speaking of absorption,
Okay.
should we go ahead and sip it?
Oh, perfect.
Yes, do
Yeah,
it.
very nice. You know me, I'm a weeder guy here. This is a big time for me.
Big
here.
moment.
Big moment.
Big moment in his life.
Oh boy, that's good.
Wow.
What was MSRP? $60.
60.
$60.
Oh boy.
Wow.
It's a nice drink.
It is. And here's the thing. I normally in my wheat journey place myself in Heaven Hill camp, which is slightly dusty, slightly floorboardy, can also have some like nice characteristics of a bowl of ripe fruit versus BT, which is more sweet, which is more decadent. And this is not either of those. It's its own unique thing, but it does not smack like, I'm going back to Paragon, Southern Star wheat, which I really liked. And this has, I think, more characteristics to it than that does.
This is
So
good.
this is a unique wheater, very unique.
Miss Mary Ann, bro.
You think so?
It's their distillate.
That's true.
They distilled it.
I'd love to know a little bit more about, because I know there was one of her recipes that had like a white corn, right? And this is white winter wheat.
Her forbidden is white wheat and white corn and all
White
that.
corn.
That is her forbidden stuff.
I'd love to know more about that variation, because I know she knows her distilling and grains and everything, but I'd love to know more about the flavors that stuff imparts, not just from tasting it, but hearing from her or whoever what that brings in, because you see other distillers with soft red winter wheat, different variations of things that we don't typically hear. Remember Leopold Brothers with their bruisey floor malt?
Yes.
or floor malt plus a bruisey rye. So that's the kind of things that are unique to me. When I taste something different, I can definitely see that it comes from somewhere else. But I want to know what you gentlemen think.
Well, it's funny because, wheats need to be aged right before they taste bad. And so if this is getting aged at Castle Key with the stone, is that playing effect to anything?
So you're saying that they need to be aged more?
Well, normally we don't like a young wheat.
We don't like
right?
young wheat.
Right, young wheaters.
So if the stone is slowing it down, the aging process,
Right.
but we like this.
But look at the color on this at 7 years
Right, it's darker.
compared to that 7-year Premier Drams I had.
Right.
Way darker.
So
So I don't know if
something-
that was partially aged off site or if that's just maybe the
Different rick house or something?
absolute top of their, I don't know. Yeah,
Right.
Something.
Yeah. Something's going on. But what are the predominant notes that you pick up out of it?
Man, it's sweet, but it's not, I'm trying to think what the sweetness is. I'm not saying honey sweet, but it is something besides like regular cane sugar sweetness.
For me, it's like somebody took, do you guys remember a whatchamacallit candy bar?
Yeah.
With the rice and the whatever it is, caramel and caramel chocolate drizzle.
Mm-hmm.
It's that mixed with some kind of a fruit. That's really, gosh, with young wheaters, I'm so used to, when I say young wheater here, keep in mind,
I got like a sweet apple too.
yeah,
Like a
sweet apple. Yeah, like a little bit of orchard stuff. When I say young wheater, you guys got to realize that at 90 proof, Weller Special Reserve is supposed to be 6 years old, right? OWA is supposed to be 7 to 9 years old. Weller 12 is 12 years old because it's age stated. Larceny barrel proof supposed to be 5 to 7 years old. Like, so this is in that range, yet it doesn't taste like those things to me. So something maybe about the unique mash bill, the aging process, something is hitting right with this. Yeah, definitely. Is it my favorite thing ever? No, I'm not going to say that, but it's very good.
Yeah, I mean, like you guys said, it's sweet. We get a little bit of the faint. Kenny, you're getting like a faint apple, right?
Faint apple.
Yeah, faint apple on it.
Yeah, I would call it like an orchard fruits. Not quite like berries, just orchard fruits, like stone fruits almost.
Yeah.
Which is not typically what I get from wheaters. This is just a unique wheater. Yeah. Kenny, when you mentioned Brett Connors, was he working somewhere else before Castle Key? Because that name sounds familiar.
I'm sure he has. He is like nerdy in a good way. Like he's big. He knows his crap inside and out.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, Brett met him 3 or 4 different times.
Okay,
he's a cool dude.
That's cool.
This is good. I know we just did that 7-year episode last week, but I would say this would either be. This could be second to third place from last week.
No, too sexy.
Yeah.
This would be. Be hard to beat our number one last week.
I think it sounds good as the number one, but it's definitely
this could be number 2.
Definitely better than
number 3. Yeah,
the bottom, definitely better than the bottom half.
Yeah, this number
so it's
2
in there
number
somewhere.
3, man.
So we have ourselves a contender. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I wish it even said on the back of the bottle, batch 1, 2024, or sorry, batch 1, age 7 years, blended in 2024.
Okay.
So I wish we should have included that.
Oh, in the blinds.
In our blinds.
Okay.
Maybe they'll have a 2025 version of that they come out with.
Okay.
And if they do, it's definitely going in the blinds.
Okay. Very
For
good.
the money, man, that's pretty
Good.
There you go.
So, gentlemen, would you pass, try, or buy on the Castle Key small batch cask strength wheated bourbon?
Oh.
I'll go first. I think this is a buy for a wheated 7-year age stated. It's pretty good drink. $60. It's kind of hard to pass up. So,
Yeah.
good buy.
I'm following you, man. Here's the thing. I'm on record many times over, not just on this podcast, but I remember I made a special guest appearance on Arsenic Culture, and they had a young
They must have
leader.
been really desperate.
They definitely were desperate. But they had a young weeder on there.
What was her name?
The young weeder, I destroyed it. I said it tasted like drywall and
That's not very nice.
and what else I said? I said it tastes like drywall and stale honey wheat bread,
Yeah.
because that's kind of what I get from weeders when they're not like tasting.
You're the
right.
Witter King, though. I've always told you
Yeah,
that.
and it's
so.
it's just not good. And so this one is very unique, very tasty, and like I just want to say that right now I'm a buy on it because it's $60, and I get why people were a buy on this because it's very tasty. Rating wise, though, I think I'm going to put it middle pack. If I was to rate, are we rating yet? Or are we just going to say pass, try, buy
It's a
first?
2024 release,
So we can't really rate
we
it?
don't really have to do the score on it.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I would just say that it still falls middle pack rating for me, like a 7.5, because I would not put it in my upper echelon of, damn, this is like so good that I can't live without it. But I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna go seek a bottle out now, though, because I think it's definitely something to blind with and to be respected. It's a very, very nice 7-year-old weeder.
NIL, yeah. That's where I'm at. So,
You're still in that NIL, huh?
yeah, baby. I bought this bottle. And this is fresh crack tonight, too.
Oh, really?
Wow.
So it's going to develop a little bit more with oxidation.
It's weird how, like, different stores,
Uh-huh.
how they, like, want different things on their shelves.
Okay.
I picked this up at Kroger in Beaumont
Really?
on quote-unquote clearance for $51.99.
Are you serious?
So it's like $59, $69 retail.
59, I
whatever.
think, and on their website was 65, I think. So
Yeah,
they've even
so
upped it $5.
$51.99 at Kroger in Beaumont. Anybody
Dang.
in Lexington? But no, this is I'm a hard buy, like
Right.
hard buy.
Right.
This is a crushable bottle,
Absolutely.
as in like if you sit around like a campfire, you sit around just hanging out, just watching a whatever kind of game or
If you go
sporting
on
event,
vacation,
dude, you can crush that bottle. That is crushable.
And
That's
it's unique enough to where if you bring it somewhere, it won't be like the standard things people bring. And
right.
you definitely crush it.
And that is barrel proof at the 105.
right?
No added water. They're very, like, they even put on the back there, no added water.
Dang, so the entry proof had to be pretty low too, right?
Not necessarily, man. Like I said, that's the problem with the rick houses, man. That's just, you actually lose proof, man.
Everything's slow and low there.
Yeah.
Slow and low.
This is actually great. This is 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, the very best thing that's come out of the distillery that is a whiskey at all.
Oh, I agree.
Now, they made some killer gins.
Yeah.
So I'm not counting their gin into this, but this is their best rye or bourbon ever of anything they've done.
Steven,
ever.
did you know that Kenny liked women's perfume that much?
That's the smell when I come in through the door.
Yeah. I'm just joking.
Sorry.
On the gin. The gin.
All right.
For gin is always very tough to get past the nose, but
Yeah.
I get that they made nice gin. So the botanicals must have been on.
All right.
All
So,
Legit.
two things.
Legit. Two for us.
Billy is in trouble.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Billy's in trouble.
Oh, wait. Man can't jump. Billy's in trouble now. Yep.
And my son texted me that he made a bar when I'm making a necro. So we
It's time to
it's about time to say boom, dog.
There you go. Boom. Got to get it going. Got to get that Diablo in.
Boom.
And with that, thanks for listening to this episode.
Please like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Mashup KY.
Don't forget to visit our partner, bourbonoutfitter.com. Enter code The Mashup for a special discount.
Also,
Head on over to our partner, the Woodwork Collective, at woodworkcollective.shop. Enter code MASHUP for a 15% discount.
let us know your thoughts on this bottle in the comment section. Until next time, keep it neat.